In Major 1 of 2023, Tayson and Merstach beat Malibuca and Thomas HD in Grand Finals by just 1 point.
OHB can enter the floor, has to hammer all the way out. Tayson on the backside of zone. No mats left. Tayson hung high to try. Malibuca on his last match as well. Goal. So close to the mine. Malibuca in the mine. It's done. That's why he's the GOAT.
A thrilling victory for Tayson and Merstach and an agonizing defeat for Malibuca and Thomas.
Thomas HD, whoever's cursed him, please, just allow my boy. Please allow my boy.
It was the closest either player had come to winning, and they seemed destined to continue to fight over the unenviable title as best player to never win in FNCS. And for Thomas especially, the FNCS drought was getting ridiculous. He had played in 17 FNCS Grand Finals, with 10 top 5s, 7 top 3s, and 2 seconds.
Thomas HD, whoever's cursed him, please.
And for Malibuca, it was crazy too. With 13 Grand Finals appearances, 4 top 5s, and over $800,000 in earnings, and even a global LAN win at Gamers 8, most of this success taking place since the start of 2022, a wildly dominant run. He and Thomas would play together for the rest of 2023 through the Global Championship, failing to top their second place and placing 39th in the FNCS Global Championship after being contested. After Globals, they would switch duos, Thomas going to play with the 3-time FNCS champion, Queasy, who had split up with Vino. And Malibuca got back together with Merstach, who he played with for most of 2021 and all of 2022, who beat him in the previously mentioned FNCS with Tayson. So, with FNCS Major 1 in 2024 about to start, both Thomas and Malibuca were looking to finally win an FNCS. And not for nothing, with a 4th FNCS title, Queasy would firmly enter the GOAT debate. Here's the story of Chapter 5 Season 1 FNCS, a tournament that would be equal parts epic and agonizing for the winner and runner-up.
And we can now reveal that your champions of Chapter 5 Season 1 by 1 point are winners of $170,000, the active champions, and a spot in global championships.
This FNCS came with renewed interest in the game, on the heels of OG Fortnite, the hype of global championships, the explosion of Creative 2.0, and a new chapter.
Fortnite Chapter 5 is one of the biggest updates to the game with a brand new map, weapon mods, new medallions, and a lot more to unpack.
In fact, this Grand Finals on EU was the most viewed regional FNCS ever, with only the Global Championship and World Cup rivaling it for interest. And the insane level of interest came with insane depth of storylines that kept getting better and better.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
And if you like good stories, please consider subscribing to this channel. The reigning EU champions, Swizzy and Putrick, have both their $200,000 in prize money and global land spot vacated because their tax residency was in Russia.
In case you somehow missed it, in March of last year, Epic Games added that players who are residing inside Russia will not be able to claim prize money moving forward in tournaments. This is due to obviously the war between Russia and Ukraine, and Epic having to follow United States sanctions on who they can pay out through their game.
But after moving to Serbia, they were looking for redemption. And as they were getting ready to make the most of a second chance, another duo was making an even bigger and bolder move. King and Fazer, the reigning back-to-back FNCS champion on Brazil, announced their move to EU. After winning 2 straight on Brazil, they were looking to test themselves in a stronger region. And throughout Major 1 qualifiers, they were good, but not great.
Sadly, they did not qualify.
In the first FNCS qualifier, they finished 33rd, clinching a spot to heats, but failed to make it past round 1 in qualifier 2, meaning they needed to make it through the lower bracket to play in Grand Finals.
Fazer and King, after not qualifying out of opens, will be in the lower bracket as well.
And they waited until the very last round to qualify, winning a game.
Out Smokey doesn't really have any options. He gets dropped. Players falling left, right, and center, including King, who drops down low to the low ground, playing Disruptor, and the script almost writes itself, but King gets shut down. No chance to pop any med kit on the low ground. He did his job and some as him and Fazer take the game.
And placing 7th in the lower bracket round 3 and punching their ticket to Grands. But while new players were coming into the region, others were coming back. After announcing his retirement over the summer, one of Fortnite's greatest players, Aqua, started competing again. As the Duo World Cup champion and a 2-time FNCS winner, he had amazing pedigree, but it had been almost 2 years or 631 days since he had played in a grand finals. And to raise the stakes on his comeback story, he teamed up with a former superstar who also did not play in a grand finals in Chapter 4, Noah Riley, who made his name with an extremely aggressive and entertaining playstyle, dominating in 2021.
Looking at Noah Riley, you guys should know who he is. Literally the best mechanical player. He's also got some of the best aim in EU and in the world at the moment. And he's absolutely ridiculous to learn from and watch.
And they managed to qualify for heats, albeit the lower bracket. And round 2, they played well enough to move to the upper bracket. And in their first upper bracket lobby, they crushed it, placing first and punching their ticket to grand finals. But it was overshadowed by another comeback, the one comeback to rule them all.
Quote unquote, I'm back.
The return of mongraal. When OG Fortnite dropped, mongraal came back to streaming. Many thought it would be temporary. It had been in the past, but he kept going and going, and even started playing tournaments.
That's nice. Nice.
And while he never placed in the OG season, it seemed like the passion was back.
On the big ground, bro!
And lucky for him, Mr. Savage, his close friend, was still at the top of his game and was looking for a duo. And at the start of Chapter 5, they began competing together. And in the first of many shocking twists, they qualified for finals in their first Cash Cup together and placed a respectable 15th. On the heels of this, Mr. Savage would make an offer.
I think it would be a good idea if we play duos. You're the fragger, I'm the IGL, we win the whole fucking thing. What do you think?
Yo!
Officially asking mongraal to be his duo. They performed well enough in qualifiers to make it to the lower brackets of heats, where their flair for dramatic was in full effect, placing in 11th in the lower bracket round 2 and moving up to the upper bracket, where the story would become so perfect you would not believe it was real.
Drop low gun maybe.
Get on him.
Nice, Metzer. You got 1 build, you got 5 builds, Nice, 1v1.
Nice.
He's playing heal off.
Follow the zone, focus on the zone. The player, focus on the zone. He's there? No!
Oh, yo, bro. Oh.
But I wanted the first scrim win, bro.
They would need to place top 25 to make grand finals. Just play well in 3 games and they're in. But game 1 and 2 were poor.
To get inside the box, they do it. Can they come out on top though, as mongraal has not been able to connect the shots needed yet. Savage has gone down, now left as a solo, gets cracked, more players applying pressure, just 7 HP.
Meaning the rest would all be on game 3.
They needed a big game. Half of the points of placement have already been gathered, but he needs the other half.
He takes the shots, that's another elimination, racking up points, that's 2, but he needs another one to qualify. 38 points on the board, 40 total, he gets taken out.
And they played well, deep into endgame, which vaulted them up into 26th, losing on a tie break with the team ahead of them, missing their best opportunity up to this point. But they would have one more shot, with 3 games to earn one of the final 15 spots in lower bracket round 3. And they wasted no time.
There, but mongraal gets dropped all the way to the low ground, once again leaving Savage as a solo.
Savage, though, took out Belusi, has that Elam on the board. Issue is no materials.
In the first game, while dominating endgame, mongraal went down. Then, Savage did this.
Savage is towards the backside of zone, continuing to slide down, but there's no builds, can't protect himself. Roban's gonna be the first one trying to challenge him on that high ground. Gavix is second. Grapple Blade is gonna be used by Savage and go up and over to stay alive.
Savage, are you kidding me right now? He continues to climb after just 1 player left in the zone, healing off. And it looks like if Savage can stay up, it's teeny. 1 grapple blade, 2. Will he be able to make it back? Savage, cancel him and takes the VR.
It's all a script. It's all a script.
Dude, why'd you break your headset, bro?
Wait, you got another game. Yo, it ain't over yet, bro.
Iconic. And reminiscent of another iconic Savage moment. And while the next 2 games were a bit of a struggle, they placed 11th and made grand finals, mongraal's first in more than 1,200 days since he won an FNCS in Stark season. blessing the world with an epic storyline.
W's in the shot.
But in grand finals, they would be contested, so the odds would be stacked against them.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
In addition to Aqua and No Riley, Phaser and King, Swizzy and Putrick, and mongraal and Mr. Savage, there were a ton of other great duos with a lot at stake. Three-time FNCS winner Giannis and his duo Flixie had been playing insanely well through qualifiers. Cammy and Seti were looking to avenge a second place in the FNCS Global Championship. After dominating together as part of a trio in Chapter 2, Mechanical Gods and massive German streamers Vadil and Reason teamed up. Two of EU's greatest players joined up to form a super duo, Tayson and Venom. And finally, Queasy and Thomas, and Merstach and Malibuca were all chasing an FNCS title. Their share in almost $1 million in prizing, and 2 spots available for this year's Global Championship. So, without further ado, the games were ready to be played.
Let's get right into it.
mongraal and Savage are contested off spawn and go down. They would struggle for most of the day.
mongraal already down, but Savage is his chance to go big. 35 shields, well, not a lot being drained off, but shots on multiple members. Savage has one, almost going down altogether. That's Nate, but the fight continues. Savage goes down.
King and Phaser win off spawn, but like mongraal and Mr. Savage would struggle.
Or King Phaser, another very hyped up team. Switching their drop spot up a little bit.
Queasy and Thomas, who are also contested, win, but go down too early to make a real impact.
Body landing towards the ship station. Crims, Noms, Lavish Layer going up against Thomas, but a double knock. On over towards Lavish Layer. Queasy, Thomas, they finally got the upper hand against Noms with a huge knock, leaving Crims on the back foot to try to run away, and they have him surrounded. Even the bot is going to go ahead and take a part in this battle. Pusher's trying to get out, but there's still pressure for so many duos.
And in endgame, Aqua, with a cheeky name, lives up to his historical reputation and takes height, fighting off a challenge as Noah Riley gives us a glimpse of his prime.
That momentum boost from popping it, but it's only going to last so long, is now Vanyak, Sined, they're going for height.
This is their chance, but they immediately get stuffed and shut down. Even knocked as Noah and Aqua, they're able to solidify it and keep a hold of that high ground for now.
And Malibuca goes down after a solo clutch, but Aqua cannot quite pull out the win, but puts the region on notice.
Final for game 1, Aqua, Noah, they lose high ground at the worst possible moment. Noah goes down, Cade gets dropped. It's all up to Loki, who gets another elimination, bringing it down to a 1v1, but he doesn't have heals. It's all up to Aqua. He's going back in with 1 flopper left. He's gonna use it, ready to fight it, but he goes down.
In mid-game, Vino is cooking.
1 sniper shot put him above, as now Bevies. Uh-oh, be careful, Bevies. You've gotten stuck. 34 now, crack, no shield to work with. Veno gets the knock. Pablo is taken out.
With Queasy down, Thomas makes plays as a solo.
Up to Thomas now.
He snatched that medallion at the last second, and on the receiving end of the mythic frenzy, all but just a sliver of HP, but he gets forced back to the zone.
Vino keeps pushing.
Veno stuck to the outside of the zone, 15 HP, running out of build, but finds a huge blind fire with the Reaper, unable to get the knock, but he's still trying to chase that elimination as he runs out of builds.
And so does Thomas.
Now, left as a solo as well, gone down, eliminated. It's Thomas HD. He's still going.
This is a solo that everybody knows that can put up some big points. 6 eliminations by himself, 8 as a team. A 9th's going to be found as Lunex goes down into the next box. This is where everybody's getting closer and closer together, running out of time here at the end.
Huge for Thomas HD. That's 8, but he gets dropped. Oh, he gets eliminated.
As Giannis and Flixie pull out the win.
2 versus 1. Will iDrop have the space to pop the med kit? Giannis, Flixie taking shots, taking the elimination, and getting the VR for game 2.
Thomas HD goes down off spawn to start the game.
That's what I was talking about. The camping, getting there first is important, but the fights all around the map are just starting so quickly. Thomas goes down.
Queasy attempts an epic sneak play that comes so close to working. Keep in mind, in this tournament, every point will count.
All that gold. Queasy. He has to be perfect here, land the shot. In goes Arc. This is his chance. Queasy's just being very careful. First shot's gonna go through, and that's gonna be a monster of a shot. Arc is by himself. His teammate in the minimap trying to close the distance, trying to alleviate some of that pressure. Shots come in. Queasy gets a knock on the Arc. That is gonna be 1, but Rick Moore's there to revenge his teammate.
Reason and Vadil make an aggressive play as they look to take control of the tournament.
If that, and Now he's just fighting to keep their game alive here in game 3. Raisin is going to get dropped to just a sliver of HP. Is he going to get anything off? No, he's not. But that's no worry.
And keep cooking.
And from that smart pistol with the lock-on feature, Reason to deal under pressure yet again from one fight to the next. That's Casper on the other side, and a quick knock going to be found by Reason.
Giannis goes down. And at the start of endgame, the entire top 3 is out. Cammy goes down to Vidil.
Cammy still up though, 4 elims to his name now, 18 builds as he continues to clutch as a solo, but boom, eliminated.
And Volko and Vortex take the win.
Running low, it is a full duo down below, it is a full duo up above. The 2 versus 2 as Volko gets cracked.
That is a big shot, but Mixon goes down. It's all up to pings, no HP, no builds, grapple plating to high, but it's not enough.
After 3 games, the leaderboard is shaping up, with Reason and Vidil in the lead. Noah, in an early game fight, shows off his hours in Kovacs. Despite this, they would fail to keep their momentum the rest of the tournament.
Materials in terms of that wood, and not an angle just yet for Queasy and Thomas. They're going to go ahead and continue to play a slow game, but Noah, oh my gosh, that was a quick replay. He got 2.
After getting rebooted, Vidil and Reason would be straight back to business, taking out Diox, who was in second.
All it's going to take is for them to get cracked, and the shots will continue.
And kept going.
They will begin focusing you. Pace and Benno, though, who have a good amount of real estate, will have those options to take shots as Reason finds one.
Merstach and Malibuca are looking to make their mark on this tournament.
Opportunities, Merstach on the backside of the zone, trying to see if he can spot anybody else trying to rotate in. Art Skills will be the first one in his line of sight.
Vino and Tayson get some elims.
Quick shot, even with the frenzy. Azure in the sky could be enough. Venno, though, Tayson bumping up their elim counter to 4.
Then go for height.
Especially with Cade and Diox already out. Venno still trying to go ahead and make a high ground play for himself. They chop it down, and this is their chance to not only take it, but hold on to it to the very end.
Vidil gets another elimination.
Question as the aggression continues from the players below.
Merstach goes down, leaving Malibuca to solo clutch.
Those impacts, Merstach and Malibuca, they have the advantage being a duo, but can they find the solos?
Oh, no.
Gets dropped down, he's taken out. Malibuca is now one of them.
It was going to be a trade. Vortexers gets chopped as well. Volko gets taken down, so it's all up to Malibuca.
As Venno solo clutches.
He's holding on. He has that medkit in hand as CZB, Pablo Bevies, all in the dirt.
Bevies and Pablo Wingo take the win.
Venno, he's trying to make a play. Flowberry Fizz coming out. He drops from above.
Malibuca, both. The clock's ticking. Dark is forced to move. Malibuca gets the elim. No more medkits left. It's Pablo. It's Bevies that take the win.
Mongraal and Savage win off spawn, but get third party by 2 teams.
There's another team on top of the mountain, a 4th party coming in. There's a 5th party on the outskirts.
Merstach and Malibuca take out Chapix.
Malibuca, all they have to do is end this fight, and they're already breaking in on the other side. 2 angles, better than 1. And even though Malibuca takes a haymaker, he lands a bigger one himself to take down Chapix.
Giannis and Flixie go down as their early day momentum has stalled out.
Finally does him in. Flixie has to go ahead and dig deep, but he gets taken out as well.
With Vidil down, Reason has to solo clutch below Surge and with depleted loot, but gets his Surge and eliminations.
He sees another team towards the backside of zone getting focused, so that's 2 more options for him. Lox is going to be the one, and there's a couple of shots being landed, but it's still not going to be enough to get him above the threshold just yet.
Securing those extra little shots.
Thomas flashes his insane aim as teams rotate past him.
Seti's going to go ahead and try to gatekeep them out. They don't know he's a solo, so they stagger themselves, look back, try to spot out Tayson, Venno, Pootrick, a lot of opportunities, a couple of shots being landed. That's definitely going to help their Storm Surge.
209 above now.
Wow.
Man, be careful. Completely annihilated. Cracked. Left down to just the sliver. 30 HP as Thomas continues pushing in. Can he get into the box? He does. That's the knock.
Reason finally goes down after clutching more points as a solo than he had any right to. Venno gets 2 eliminations.
Still want to target that high ground. They don't want to let this Victory Royale go for free, and now they target it towards the back. Nice shots by Venno, but he loses Tayson along the way. It continues as he has one more player in his line of sight. That player is going to get knocked, and a double elimination coming through for Venno.
Thomas goes down as a solo. Malibuca almost ekes out a cheeky solo win.
As now, he goes up for the shot, unable to connect it, holding on just 4 more builds.
He does a good job of blocking off Mixon, feeding him to the wolves on the low ground. Chari Gira, 6 eliminations so far, but Malibuca not going down without a fight.
And Vidil and Reason hold the lead with Malibuca and Merstach close behind. Merstach makes an epic headshot snipe on Diox.
1 forecast tower down. And great play for Hari and Giras to try to disengage, but as soon as we tune in, Merstach threads the needle.
Reason, who's in trouble, barely hangs on after a push by Merstach.
Gets tagged up. Vidil felt the same pain, dropped to just slivers of HP. That's Merstach. He's a solo on the other side, and Reason takes him out. That's a huge elimination.
And in endgame, Queasy and Thomas set up to take height.
First place. There's still plenty of placement points on the board overall, and a nice shot like that. Skvi's gonna get dropped down to a sliver of HP, and there's a whole nother team that see he's weak down there. 275. Thomas does it again. Said he was the best sniper in the game, and that is why.
As Vidil and Reason get another elimination.
25 seconds left. The Vidil and Reason are choosing to rotate along the side,
but go down soon after.
To recuperate the HP and play slow, but what he does not have are materials.
Yeah.
Veno and Tayson take over the game.
This could be their chance to finally take that first place.
Queasy Thomas need to apply pressure onto Veno and Tayson. They know they're second high, but the snipe shot connected by Veno. Now, with the advantage, pushing up for the Clouds. They want this high ground. They want this win condition.
Match to work with. Floor getting edited. Queasy quickly thinks he gets out, but he does it yet again. I think that was another sniper on a player towards the sky.
But Queasy tries to hang on as a solo.
Goes by, gets a knock though. It's on Pablo. This could be a huge impact. Queasy's demise here. He's gonna have to stay ahead as now gets boxed up with an opponent. Looks like he might have secured the knock, but he doesn't have time to get the finish. He cannot play in zone here. He has no heals. He has no med kit.
And Tayson and Veno close it out.
Tayson versus Gearys, who's already started the heal off the backside of the zone.
How many medkits does he have? That's what's on my mind as Tayson begins the hunt. Veno trying to outlive his opponent. Who is going to be able to stay up longer?
It's all about the medkits. Veno has none. Gearys trying to make his way to the front side of the zone. It doesn't get a chance.
Jumping into second as Malibuca and Merstach fall to third, and Queasy and Thomas move to fourth, setting up an epic day 2. Day 2 would be insanely different because all the points would be multiplied by 1.5, meaning no lead is safe and anyone could win. Thomas gets a disgusting double elimination.
And their team, particularly in this zone, they do find a lot of damage. I think they're ranked 5th in zone 4 when it comes to overall damage dealt throughout the past couple games. But Thomas with the crash pad, they didn't even hear it coming.
Vidil and Reason go down early, losing out on any placement points, and put up first place for grabs.
Down on Surge, only needs 13, but looking to grab that much more. Astral's gonna be in his line of sights, but it's Vidil and Reason who go down.
Merstach and Malibuca clean up a team.
Cascade with every team that drops.
26 above now for mixing ping. Pressure gets on as Merstach Malibuca. 160 above, but it's going to be Yanis and Flixie that go down.
Veno and Tayson go down.
He needs to keep holding here. He has to keep expanding to get that space if he wants to pick up Tayson.
Then Pablo Wingo has an absolutely bonkers solo clutch.
He tries to make his way back in, can't take too much damage through the zone, out of builds. Vortex was in his line of sight. This is his chance to get a refresh, and he picks it up with ease. Mastermind still holding on strong. 6 elimination as a team with the lion's share going to him. A nice shot and a nice elimination from Pablo as he gets Merstach down.
He gets a knock. He gets an elimination. It's Merstach. That's up to 6 as Pablo hunts for more. Headhunter right now as Pablo's unstoppable with another onto Queasy.
That's 2 big teams, 2 Titans at the top of the leaderboard down, and this is his chance to overtake the first place. Another knock there onto Kiro, and he's bringing it back. 7 eliminations, looking for an 8th, and finally comes to an end.
And Sangold and Marius win.
Yeah, they're running out of builds. Everything's going to come crashing down, but Eclipse gets dropped. Dexy trying to fight back with the numbers game.
And Pablo Wingo and Bevies take first place as Vidil and Reason fall from 1st to 6th, demonstrating how volatile day 2 scoring would be. Mr. Savage cooks off spawn as he and mongraal finally get control of their drop spot.
The replay of mongraal and Savage. We saw this highly contested fight. 6 out of 6 games throughout the day. Yesterday in Savage,
Queasy and Thomas go down off spawn.
Game for Queasy Thomas are never going to come easy, and we're even seeing the ballistic shield coming out from Thomas. Doesn't have any close range, so it could be the play for him, especially with Queasy going down off spawn.
Thomas needs to get ballistic here, but he's unable to.
Reason and Vidil push Cammy and Seti and then take out mongraal.
They're attacking from 2 different angles. Vidil just trying to go straight in from the low ground. Reason working his way from the top to bottom. Finally, they reunite and they're able to get one. Cammy gets dropped down.
Into the 1 versus 2. But it looks like Reason isn't done yet. It's mongraal close by that wants to escape, but he's been cracked now. Just gonna take 2 more shots. 2 big ones from that frenzy to finish it off as now
Nowhere to run.
Noah and Aqua face off against Veno and Tayson, with Tayson paying a high price to be the last man standing.
Shot.
They're doing just enough to stay ahead of the curve. 62 above, but Veno, Tayson under pressure. Noah, Aqua gonna be the ones on the other side. Out of zone, no HP. Veno gets dropped again. It's gonna put a lot of pressure on Tayson. Medkit getting canceled. Noah goes in, but he gets sent right back on out, leaving Aqua by himself. But Tayson is running out of time. This is a 2-tick. Now or never for the Medkit. With 1 HP left, he finally gets it off to try to keep himself alive. But Aqua is still knocking on the door on the other side.
But Tayson goes down before placement points as he and Veno slide down the leaderboard. Pablo goes down, and Bevies takes his turn to solo clutch.
He has time to loot up Aqua. Let's see what happened to Bevies and Pablo, though.
All right, so Pablo's already down.
And with 14 HP and barely any materials, he does this.
Ton, but 34 below. Not very many opportunities there, so we look at an opportunity here. Bevies. Oh my gosh!
But finally goes down. Reason and Vidil have height.
They have the high ground, and they hold on.
Merstach and Malibuca lose their chance to take first after going down to Hardy. And Vidil and Reason take the win, capping off an emphatic bounce back.
Cade is going to be the solo, goes down to zone, the 2v2, height versus low as Reason drops in, cracks one, unable to get the knock. Vidil now forced as a solo.
He still has the medkits. He gets it canceled though by a threat to try to jump up. Second one going off. It's also going to be canceled. He drops down onto Adalex. Sato was already down.
Moving back to first. Queasy and Thomas win off spawn instantly, making this game their greatest opportunity to push up the leaderboard.
But with this quick knock, they have the advantage now. The 2 versus 1, all they need to do is close it off, and it's exactly what gets done.
Malibuca and Merstach destroy a duo.
12 for Merstach and Malibuca to give. Oh, that was a disgusting snipe.
On the other side of the zone, but as we tune in, Malibuca and Merstach in another fight on the other side. They're able to at least get one. AR Pafo is going to be the only one left, and they're hot on the heels, melting through a lot of these builds, just trying to get that 6 extra points.
Vidil and Reason go down.
They need to make something happen if they don't have enough, but for Reason and Vidil, a push came through, took out Archskill, and he went down.
Queasy and Thomas dominate in endgame. The second place team, Malibuca and Merstach, severely damaged third place team, Bevies and Pablo.
There's a couple of those teams still alive here in this lobby. There's the ones with snipers. Bevies just gets targeted out. Multiple teams, left, right, and center. Malibuca and Merstach doing the brunt of that damage,
who get taken out soon after.
You have to be careful though, because I saw Thomas Queasy going up a few layers. Those are the ones who might take high ground, but Pablo gets dropped.
Thomas and Queasy have height and manage to pull out the win in a very weird heal off.
They do it. It's Queasy up top. He has a med kit. The question is how many? Sangil now forced to play in the zone. Marius looking to cause disruption. It's Sangil that has one more med kit. And Queasy up above, continuing with the heal off.
Yeah, Sapfire's there as well. Basically a solo FNCS for this end game, all coming down to a heal off. Queasy grapple blades to the front side of the zone. Can only imagine what he found. Sangil now has to go on the hunt. The last of his heals are going to be used. Only a few seconds left, but he finds another med kit. No chance to use it.
As they take third place, and Malibuca and Merstach jump to first. Thomas and Queasy win off spawn again, with first place now in their sights.
In the action as he knocks down one. Engagement has commenced. Upper hand for Queasy and Thomas HD. Is it going to be enough to finish it off? It is.
Reason is a solo as Vidil does not load in.
Reason does look like he's already stuck as a solo.
Reason comes close to a 1v2 but goes down.
It's on the board. 43 builds to work with. He does have those 3 medkits if he would like to stay in zone longer, but forced into this engagement. He really needs to show his dominance.
He's doing a good job fighting back, especially with numbers massively against him. One's gonna go down, but unfortunately, he's just all by himself.
Pablo and Bevies go down.
Pablo, as he gets knocked, Bevies, the last player of the duo that's up, but with just 7 HP. He needs to take out more than just one player. He needs to pop that med kit. Unable to, goes down.
Thomas hits a crazy snipe while rotating.
And for Surge. Jump on board. Queasy, Thomas in this replay. They're just going to try to make their way towards the zone.
Needing Surge, Merstach and Malibuca do this.
Merstach, Malibuca, they're going to be low on Surge. They have no other choice but to go in. That's Wox, that's Pixie, who feel their force. And with that, they not only get all that loot, the mythic loot as well, but they get above the damage threshold, but still pressure coming from different angles. Merstach ends up yet another box, but it doesn't matter. Sends Aqua back to the lobby.
Thomas gets an elimination.
Rest of this late game for Thomas HD and Queasy on the contrary. Thomas.
Then he and Queasy take height. Thomas hits another epic snipe.
And I mean, it just, again, look at this. Ready?
Malibuca and Merstach go down, as Thomas and Queasy are in position to steal first.
Queasy, Thomas are going to have to look to make a play on a player, but it's them. Queasy gets aggressed on from the backside of zone, but the tables have turned. Hari's going to be able to get a knock onto one, but a ton of damage onto Thomas. Seti's going to complete the flank. Queasy's fighting for his life out here, and he gets the elimination onto Seti. Finds a couple of builds, but the zone is forcing him into a whole nother team's hands.
Somebody call security. Queasy's looking unstoppable.
And Giannis and Flixie win.
Looking to go ahead and grab another one. Flixie came here to play. Giannis taking the high ground, denying all entry to Kiro and Kuduo as the first down is going to come through.
But Queasy and Thomas HD take first narrowly, and a legendary tournament ratchets up another level. In the next two games, it was a near certainty that either Thomas HD or Malibuca would win their first FNCS. To start the game, Queasy and Thomas HD are uncontested. The tournament is theirs for the taking.
Queasy, Thomas, uncontested.
Malibuca and Merstach take out a team.
And continue on.
Yeah, it's important because throughout that last game, we saw them kind of forced to interact because of Surge.
Was cracked. Now Malibuca forced to pop that Flowberry Fizz, healed them back up. Good news is they have the upper hand in terms of players. It's just Diox.
Merstach goes down, and Malibuca is stuck solo clutching.
Merstach has been eliminated as well. Malibuca left as a solo. Pressure is on as he knocks down one.
Reason and Vadil go down. Yet another crushing disappointment of a game, as they fall out of contention.
Is pushing him in as well. There's only so much of that medkit he could actually use.
Thomas and Queasy go down.
Those are solos.
Thomas, he's able to pick up big, and he goes down.
Malibuca goes down, and the entire top three is out early.
Now, then this next zone pulls, we're going down it as well. Malibuca playing this one near perfectly, trying to stay alive.
Mongraal goes down in their only endgame.
Moving down that mountain, a little bit of a blessing in disguise as Mongraal finally goes down.
As Kuduo wins, he and Kiro fly all the way up to third.
He's able to at least get one more placing point for his effort. The final battle's going out.
But Queasy and Thomas had a 2-point lead over Merstach and Malibuca, just 1/3 of an elimination, setting up one of the most down-to-the-wire tournament endings ever.
Giddy up.
Merstach and Malibuca fight Cammy and Seti for Floating Island.
They're hot on the heels. Seti disengaged. Now it's Cammy's turn to try to drop down, which gives up all of Rift Island to Malibuca or Merstach if they so want it, but they want the elimination. Malibuca was able to find it onto Cammy as he fell down off of Loot Island, and now they have Seti in their line of sights, narrowly able to enter that rift to be able to escape.
Needing Surge, Thomas hits the snipe of his life, but they get beamed and are quickly in trouble.
As now Grapple Blade's forced to get into zone. It's gonna be Phaser and King holding them, but the snipe, it's hit by Thomas HD. Is it gonna be enough to continue the pressure though?
But King and Phaser, not Queasy, but Thomas fights them off and revives his duo.
Now it's almost an all or nothing situation, but Queasy's dropped. Queasy's dropped. Phaser's able to get the knock. He's trying to save the day. Thomas with the backfire gets a knock back onto Phaser. This is everything for Queasy and Thomas. King is getting backed up little by little. Medallion not able to help out Thomas because it's in the inventory of Queasy. Trade for revive, but Kiro and Kuduo, they cause destruction. That was a huge blessing in disguise for Thomas and Queasy because now they're free to get this revive back on up.
Merstach gets an elimination, their second of the game, keeping pace with first.
Teams as well.
Pressure is still on. Malibuca and Merstach looking healthier than ever.
Queasy goes down, and the pressure falls on Thomas to solo clutch his way to his first championship.
55 below. It's not going to be an easy rotation by any means, and the point gap has lessened from 8 back down to 2. means Malibuca, Merstach, they found elimination along the way. Queasy is down. Queasy is down. It's all up to Thomas. 8 builds to his name. He's trying to get this elimination on the bull backside of zone, and he finds that elimination.
But he goes down.
He gets bandages. Another pressure towards the front side. It's looking disastrous for Thomas as everybody begins to focus back. Thomas goes down.
Meaning Merstach and Malibuca need just 2 points to win.
Just about one more placement, one more elimination will be official for Malibuca and Merstach. On the victory end along with Tayson of a close race, but now it's going to be put to the test yet again. He's under pressure, getting shot from different angles, 83 HP. He's well above the damage threshold, and he still finds a way to stay alive, even dodging zone along the way, but he goes down.
As French veteran Andalex wins the game, the world hangs on to the edge of their seats.
Is going to be popped. Andalex now has to turn the tides. He has to go on the hunt, sees an opponent, staring him in the eyes, trying to go for the piece control, cancels the med kit. Andalex clutches up.
And
we did not want to wait, and you guys don't need to wait any longer. It's time to see the final leaderboard and who is raising the axe of champions. And we can now reveal that your champions of Chapter 5, Season 1 by 1 point, are winners of $170,000, the Axe of Champions, and a spot in Global Championships is Merstach and Malibuca, 649 points. This is a duo that show consistency throughout Chapter 5, Season 1.
In the glow of victory, Malibuca is profoundly relieved.
How does it feel to finally win your first major?
I don't know, it feels amazing. Like, I was ready to get second again, but somehow we won. I don't know.
And where one player is relieved, the other is in anguish, losing another FNCS by just 1 point, his second place. But at least he had a sense of humor about it. On the heels of an incredible day 2, Kiro and Kaduo moved to 3rd. Reason and Vidil fall all the way to 7th. Tayson and Veno fell from 2nd to 15th. Putrick and Swizzy in 21st. Aqua and Noah Riley in 23rd. Mongraal and Mr. Savage in 40th. King and Phaser in 41st. Ending one of the greatest sagas in Fortnite competitive. It's been said, life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. And if that doesn't sum up this tournament perfectly, what does? Like, sub, and check out our other videos.